What I have here in this box is the world's worst GPU money can buy in 2026. Now, I'm sure you guys all know which GPU I'm talking about, but I want you to pause this video and go down in the comments below and let me know which GPU you actually think I'm talking about. The big reveal and the 5060 Ti 8GB.
You serious?
Now I know you see $299, and that's because I bought it refurbished at Micro Center. Otherwise, these things run close to $400, if not more. Now I'm only partially kidding. I don't actually think this GPU is terrible. I actually think it's pretty decent.
You cannot be
But
serious!
there are a lot of people online who say no to 8GB. But I'm here to put that to the test today. And this is the Asus Prime version, which actually adds a little more value to this card. But believe it or not, this actually isn't the star of the show. It is this 650 watt GameMax SFX power supply. Now, the two of you that watched my first video, you guys might recognize this power supply. I actually switched out that power supply in my SFX build and put a 1000 watt Corsair SFX power supply in there and took that one out. So I actually have this left over and I'm going to be building around that. And that is actually why I bought this graphics card. It's actually going to be like an inside out Oreo build because this graphics card is obviously black and the motherboard is black, but everything else is going to be white. So right now I'm going to show you the parts. So starting off with the CPU, motherboard, and RAM, I actually bought this combo at Micro Center for $299. It's the 7500X3D with an ASRock B850M motherboard and a single stick of 16GB of RAM. I bought this Patriot P400 Lite 1TB SSD off of Amazon for $150. I also bought this 240mm AIO liquid cooler from Sama, the L40 in white, off of Amazon for $30. And then I bought the Thermaltake View 170 in white for $60 off of Amazon. And then rounding it all off, I bought white cable extensions because the SFX power supplies cables will not be long enough for a micro ATX case. And of course I had to add infinity fans, so I bought a 5-pack off of Amazon. And then of course the 5060 Ti 8GB, and then the star of the show, the 650 watt power supply. So as you can see in this build, I'm not only going to make one mistake, not two, but three mistakes, because we have the 8GB graphics card, we have a single stick of 16GB of RAM, and we've got a no-name SFX power supply going in a micro ATX case. But we're going to put it all together and not only see if this thing looks good, but also if it performs well, because we have everyone online saying all these bad things about all three of those things. We're going to put that to the test right now, and hopefully nothing explodes.
2 hours later.
So let's get to building. Okay, so we're going straight into Pragmata at 1440p. It's not ultra wide, it's just the normal 2560 by 1440. And it is at the highest preset. And as you can see, it is kind of chugging along. And it is pretty unplayable like this, so after we tweak the settings and bring it down one graphic preset, it is very playable. And that's kind of the theme of this graphics card, is you have to tweak it just a little bit, and once you do, it is a very, very playable experience. And after we finally do bring down the graphic preset by one, it is super playable and super smooth. We're getting above 100 FPS. And the only reason that we were getting all those crazy stutters on the highest preset is because we were running into VRAM problems. We only have 8 gigabytes of VRAM on this graphics card, but the highest graphical preset says that we need 12 gigabytes or more. And that's the only reason we were getting those stutters. Otherwise, this graphics card is powerful enough to run this game at the highest preset, and it would be a very playable experience. But I really did try to stress test this GPU in this game by shooting a bunch of AI and also a boss to get it to stutter like it did, or just, I don't know, play horribly, but I really couldn't get it to do that. I know that this game is really well optimized, but I just think that this GPU isn't as bad as people make it out to be. But I did get ahead of myself and I forgot to talk about the PC as a whole, because maybe you're wondering about the parts that I chose for this PC. It wasn't supposed to be a test bench for the 5060 Ti, so I didn't want to get a 9800X3D because that's not a realistic approach to what people would actually buy with the 5060 Ti. So more of a quote-unquote budget PC or a lower mid-range PC. Well, I guess if you do think about it, I did spend just over $900 pre-tax, and after tax, I spent a little under $1,000. So in today's market, I guess that is kind of budget, and it does pass the looks test. Although most white PC builds do look good without even trying, I think this one does look pretty good, especially when the RGB is set to white. It makes it look very clean. The only problem I have with the looks of the PC is the fact that the motherboard cable has to go above the motherboard in order to plug it in. I try to route it from the bottom as well, but the graphics card gets in the way, so the only way to do it is from above. You can't do it from the side like normal PC cases because this PC case is cut out. For the motherboard, power is made for ITX boards, it looks like, or smaller MATX boards. So yes, the case is buns. It's not good at all. It feels very cheap. The fans aren't very good. It's just kind of a hard PC case to work in. I would not recommend it for 60 bucks. If it was around $40, I'd say go for it, but 60 bucks is definitely not worth it for the case. So for the next game, I did have to throw in Hogwarts Legacy because this game loves RAM, and since we only have 16 gigabytes of it, I wanted to see if it would affect how it played at all. And this game is really hard to run as well. And as you can see, we're only getting about 40 to 50 FPS without any upscaling and everything set to high. I also couldn't get this game to run at 2560 by 1440. It was ultra wide 1440p, so keep that in mind. But it was semi-playable at 40 to 50 FPS, but I wanted it to be super buttery smooth, so I did turn on DLSS and frame gen ×2, and it was super buttery smooth after that. I know a lot of people don't like frame gen, myself included, but if you do have a budget-ish card, you're gonna have to make some compromises. If you don't want any sort of compromises, go for the 9070 XT or the 5070 Ti or above. And finally, for the last game, of course, we have to throw in Call of Duty to test out both the CPU and GPU pretty heavily. And of course, we have everything on high settings at 1440p with no frame gen or upscaling, and it's looking pretty good. But as you can see, all of these games aren't really playing terribly. They're all playing pretty well, even with 16 gigabytes of RAM and the 8 gigabytes of VRAM. You may have to tweak some settings, but after you do, it is a very playable experience for most games. So after all that, do I recommend you buying a 5060 Ti 8 gigabyte? The answer is no. Now you might be asking yourself, why? You've been talking so good about it. Well, it's because at the price that it is now of $370 to $380, it's not a good buy. There's just better options on the used market for around that price, like the 16GB 6800 XT or the 10 or 12GB 3080. And on top of the extra VRAM you're getting with those cards, you're also getting more performance, and you might be able to find them for cheaper than $350. But if you really want to buy new and you really want NVIDIA, then sure, buy the 5060 Ti 8GB, but do not spend over $300 for it. Only buy it if you see it on sale for under $300. So what would I recommend from this PC build? Well, if you have a micro center within like an hour from you, I recommend getting the 7500 X3D combo. The 7500 X3D chip is pretty decent, and it comes with a pretty good ASRock B850M motherboard. It has plenty of USB ports, it has Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, 4 RAM DIMM slots, 3 M.2 slots, and a USB Type-C header. And the 16GB of RAM it comes with is enough for now. And you can always add more in the future if you really need to when the prices come down, hopefully. So is 8GB of VRAM, 16GB of RAM, and an SFX power supply in a micro ATX case as terrible as people say? I don't think so. More specifically, the 5060 Ti 8GB isn't a terrible card. It's just terribly priced. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.